Oh, Sheriff Blake Nephew, nice to meet you, sir.
Blake, nice to meet you. Please have a seat.
Thank you, sir. I've heard a lot about you. I've never actually met you. I've seen you at different parades and stuff around the county. I've lived here my whole life, and you got a great reputation preceding you, but I've never actually met you. It's nice to finally meet you.
Nice to finally meet you too. I appreciate what you have to say about me.
Yeah, you've done a lot of great things for the county. I know you've served as sheriff my entire life. Not to say that you're old or anything, but you've served as sheriff my entire life. But you've made the county a great place to live and safe environment for kids to learn and grow.
Well, I appreciate that. Here in St. Francis, we like to keep everybody safe, and we like to do the best job we can do. And we take a lot of pride in how we do things and how we train and how we like to keep the county safe. So
yeah, we really appreciate that. Actually, I understand a lot of that. My grandpa was actually in law enforcement for quite some time. So I can kind of relate to some of your struggles as a law enforcement officer, but also why you take how you take pride in the community. He actually
I was about that. Where did he work, or where did he serve?
Well, thanks for asking. Originally, he started out with the St. Louis Metro Department and worked there for as he got out of the academy, worked there for a few years, and then eventually transferred out, moved the family out to St. Charles County. And he started off as a deputy there and then worked up to lieutenant and sergeant. And then before retiring for about 5 or 6 years, he was actually heading up the entire drug task force team for the whole county. And that was quite an ordeal. And after retiring, though, he now works for the federal government. It's kind of a big ordeal. He can't really tell us what he does. He works at a federal agency. And we know who he works for, and that's about all he can tell us.
Well, that's quite the resume he's got there. I'm sure you're proud of that.
Yeah, we really are. That's what I'm sure you can relate. I know you're a big family man. You're down to earth.
Yes, sir.
But we're real proud of him. He's done a lot for us.
What can I help you with today?
Well, yeah, we'll get down to business. First off, I just want to ask. We talked about over the phone. We discussed. I need about 15 minutes or so. Is that still okay?
Yes,
at the same amount of time.
Yeah, 15 minutes. This is something that. What we're going to talk about, obviously, is something that we're trying to get solved here. So,
and I fully believe we can solve that for you, and hopefully, we can at least get the basics established today, and get well on our way to fixing all your issues. Is it okay if I jot down a few notes while we're taking, just so I can remember all the specifics, make sure we get everything right the first time. So down to the bare issues. I know I've done kind of some research, looking through some county records and stuff. And I've seen a few reports. Is it true that some of your officers still carry the Smith & Wesson, some of the revolvers?
Yeah, the Smith & Wesson is what we carry. Obviously, it's an older, gun, and it's a little bit outdated, but that's currently what we're stuck with right now. So. Yeah,
and is that what was the reasoning behind having some of those? Still having some of those? Is it the budget or what's?
Well, yeah, the budget hasn't really allotted for it per se, so it's definitely been, like I said, we've been stuck with it. So yeah.
So what are some of the kind of the down points as far as those outdated?
Well, the mag capacity, it's only 7 shots per mag, and then the weight, it's very heavy for some of our officers to carry. So
with the mag capacity, with the it's not necessarily a mag with the revolvers as it is with the newer, it's more of the the wheel type guns. So it's the only 7 shots. That's kind of an issue, especially in today's law enforcement.
I mean, God forbid something were to happen where an officer needs more than 7 shots, but it's definitely something that could happen. And obviously, a lot of other counties around the United States, and they carry something a little bit more updated than the Smith & Wesson revolver. So it's definitely something that we would like to have.
Yeah, that's what I know. I do possess some old Smith & Wesson revolvers. I go shoot every once in a while. Some of my bosses don't really like working for Glock.
Right.
They're not very fond of me having some of them. But I just I kind of they're almost like tourists to me. Just take them out and shoot at the range. I couldn't. I understand your problem there. I wouldn't feel comfortable only having 7 shots either. A lot of the the shootouts. You're going to shoot more than 7 shots without if you have to reload every 7 shots, you could be in.
Yeah, right.
Some serious trouble.
This isn't the Wild West around here, but I'm a little bit more old school, and so it'd definitely be something a little different for me taking that Smith and Wesson out of my hands. But
I know the Smith and Wesson's kind of one of America's old guns. It's it's made in the U.S. or mostly made in the U.S. now. But even though our Glocks are assembled and made in Austria, we feel like we've produced a rather superior firearm. Is that an issue for you? I know you're kind of a down to earth guy.
I mean, like I said, I carried the Glock already. It was tough for me to get rid of that Smith and Wesson. I should say it felt just a little different, but we would be.
You're happy with
to go
it?
Something more Austrian. That Glock, even though it's Austrian made, we know it's a superior weapon, and it'll keep our people safer, keep us safer. So it's definitely something that we're looking to do.
And so with some of two of the main Glocks we sell, the main model numbers, which the different model numbers basically means the different specifications, the barrel, the mag capacity, all those different things. Two of the more popular models we sell to law enforcement are the 17 and the 19, both of which have 13 round mag capacities. So would that be more ideal for you to have?
That'd be something that would really benefit us. Like I said, having, God forbid, something like that would happen where we need more than 7 rounds in the chamber. But yeah, that would definitely be something that would help.
Yeah, so that's what I would say too. Like you said, it's not the Wild West. People aren't going out in the streets. In downtown Farmington and Park Hills having gun battles.
Right.
But still, should the need arise, it'd be ideal to have 7, 13. That's almost double your rounds. Plus, you're instead of having to reload the whole wheel, you're gonna have another mag on your hip that you can just throw in.
Right.
What were some of the other issues? I know. When I do shoot those old revolvers every once in a while. They seem really heavy. Has that ever been?
Yeah, like I told you earlier, the weight for some of our officers to have those in their belt, it's and it can be tough for sometimes for some of our officers to draw them out, real quick with it being so heavy. Yeah. And the other thing is around Farmington and Park Hills, it's more of a old school type place. So people in the community know about a Smith and Wesson and know that it's an outdated gun, and we have had some feedback that they're not very happy and they're not feeling safe. Yeah. So that's something that's very concerning for us, because my next election is coming up here, and we want to win the election, obviously. So we want the people feeling safe. We want them to vote for us, and that's my main job, is keep people safe. So, if I'm not keeping people safe, then I'm probably not going to get reelected. So,
and I understand that. I'll come back to the family point in just a second, but let's focus back on the whole weight aspect. I know my grandpa said, was definitely one of his issues. Say you were to get in a foot pursuit with somebody, you have all this weight on you, especially back in the day they would have handcuffs, maybe some pepper spray or this or that, which I know now he told me, now a lot of the officers, they carry. Not only will they have pepper spray, but they carry tasers. You have to have, if you were to have a Glock, you're going to have backup magazines.
Right.
And, just your walkie-talkie, all this different technology. And I did some research. I know only a couple of your officers actually carry them, but some of them are now starting to get the chest cameras after the whole Ferguson ordeal.
Yeah.
And I know they store the data is on like a hard drive on their belt. So I can imagine the Smith & Wesson, would be, that would be rather heavy, and you want to try to land all the weight you can. And I don't know the exact weight of the Smith & Wesson, but our Glock with the polymer frame, the only part of it's not technically plastic, but it's a very high grade, almost fail-proof base. And the only actually metal part of the gun is the barrel and the slide and the spring, and the main components of the gun are forged steel. But so it's tremendously lighter than the Smith & Wesson revolver. Do you think that would that help as far as weight with your officers?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that something that is more light is one of the things that we've been looking for. I think that upgrade to that gun that is easier to get out of the holster and easier to carry around. Carry around is something that we definitely be interested in.
Yeah, that's what. I
really
could
pay
definitely
off for us.
I would think so as well, because not only is it allowing you to have more your mag capacity is higher, but it's also, even having almost double the rounds, is still lighter than only having 7 rounds and having that old Smith & Wesson revolver. But and so back to touch on the whole family ordeal. I know my grandma, she was really concerned with the different weapons and things my grandpa was issued through the city, then through the county. And I can definitely relate to some of those families having the issues, because it's they may have their job to do, but they're still hopefully coming home to you at night. You want them to be safe, you know, when they're out there protecting everybody. I'm sure you as well, you know, want your officers to have the best possible, you know, tools they can to do their job and protect themselves and everybody in the community.
Right.
And so you said that are a lot of them, have they showed any interest in any firearms other than Smith & Wesson as far as what they'd like to update to?
No, not really. I think that the Glock is something that is a standard weapon that most outfits carry throughout the country, and I think that that's something that we've kind of been leaning towards, and I know that kind of when you called, it was kind of something that we were already thinking about. So I think that this is something
that's I think. Not to kind of brag on ourselves, but I think our reputation is starting to precede ourselves, especially, with all the different ways you can look up on the internet now. Because when it comes down to it, the facts are the facts, and, the Glock's the best on the market. And, you get the best bang for your buck. It's lighter, you can carry more rounds, it's more accurate.
Right.
And I don't know if you've seen some videos on YouTube, people are dropping them in sand and water and all kinds of stuff, taking them out, and then they fire immediately without having to do anything. So I think, do you think, if we were to, make this purchase, that your families would feel more at home and comfortable with knowing their loved ones are carrying the Glock?
Right. Yeah, I think that's, like I said, the mag capacity and the weight is one of the few concerns we have, but definitely the safety is first with us. We're police officers, so I mean, keeping people safe is our main concern, and I think that. Obviously, we don't want to get reelected for any sort of public, any private reason. We want to get reelected because we feel like we're the best outfit to keep the county safe. So I think that, us making them feel safer is going to make them more happy, and it's going to get us reelected, which is going to, in turn, keep everybody safe. So I think that I think
that would help with the election as well tremendously. If it couldn't hurt your election. Right now, if people are displeased with some of the weapons that the officers are carrying, I'm from the small town. I know, word spreads like wildfire if somebody does something wrong. But then again, if you were to upgrade, they would also say, Sheriff Bullock, he's done this and he's really trying to improve. He's made the purchase and used some of their, rather stringent budget, because everybody knows that most government agencies, or especially county, have stringent budgets that you're going above and beyond to try to protect your officers. I think that would definitely benefit.
Right.
But also another kind of important thing I wanted to ask was as far as I know you're the sheriff, but are there any other kind of decision makers that we need to be contacting?
No, and I make the final decision. Obviously, I got to run it by a few people first before I make the final decision. Maybe some officers or some lower level local government.
Right.
But I'm the one. I'm the only one that needs to be sitting in on this meeting here. So
not that there's any rush, but what's a ideal time frame that if you were to decide you wanted to move forward with this, would you go through those different routes? What's an ideal time frame that you would be looking at?
Well, I'd be looking to have another meeting with you, but I think that we would be able to make a decision here pretty shortly. Within the next couple of weeks here. So.
All right, awesome. So that's just about all I have for you today. While we're here, let's go ahead and try to set up another meeting if that's okay with you.
Yes, sir.
I know I'll be back down in this area next Tuesday. How's right around noon? Would Tuesday at noon be all right for you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate your time. Look forward to meeting with you next week.
Pleasure meeting with you.